Hello. So today we're going to continue playing Entity. This is going to be our 8th session of the story of Welcome. So Entity, awesome book by Peter Schultz. It's very great, solo play. We'll be utilising, as Peter mentioned in the comments in a response just recently, the advanced storytelling guide for Entity, which basically gives some additional tables and additional information to spark your imagination and help you out. Some of the things that we often use, that Peter mentions, is that we use the what you can see in the distance and the what you can see in the sky tables. We've also utilised the alien features table and some of the terrain features and structure features tables. It basically, somebody mentioned that the tables get a bit, can't remember what they said, but it's it's a bit more dice rolly and less storytelling. This will give some additional themes, like normal Oracle type things, to our story. So, Entity, Welcome has been travelling around this alien surface, the alien world that Welcome found themselves in. Welcome being an AI astronaut and being built to discover scientifically about the environment around itself. It has been exploring the world and attempting to build facilities to aid in the discovery. And one of the things within Entity is that when you build a structure, and so far we have built a navigational complex, we've built a geospatial analysis laboratory, which helps us with navigation. We have built a xenobiology laboratory, and we also built, I think it was a flora catalogue and a flora catalogue. And at the moment what we're attempting to construct is a nanomaterial synthesis laboratory, which will basically have a mechanical benefit of giving us +1 chemistry. So to do that, you have to collect a thing called aspects. And to build our nanomaterial synthesis laboratory, we need 4 aspects, of which we have so far collected 1. We haven't had a very good time of it. We explored a derelict haven for these flighted aliens, and we didn't really discover anything helpful there. We then went back to the phosphorus jungle, attempting to collect some of the samples to help us understand the chemistry of this place where we find ourselves. We didn't find much stuff there, and we went to some large mushroom spore towers where we failed at the end of that exploration because we were attacked by the rogue AI that seems to be a rogue AI on this planet that is causing us some issues. We are striving slowly towards uncovering the discoveries that are at the back of the book that you're not supposed to read all of, and we have had uncovered 3 so far about alloys, unknown alloy on the planet. There's an ancient synthetic remains, and there seems to be some sentient artifacts around the planet that we'd already discovered. What else am I going to say? Yeah, so this is going to be session 8. I'm planning to go up to session 10, and then at session 10 I'll probably take a break. I'll call that season 1. We'll take a break and do something else, because I've got hold of a couple of other small independent games like these that I'd like to try as well. So we shall start. I haven't played this in a bit, so I will be a bit rusty, but we will learn together. So if I remember rightly, one of the first things we do whilst we are attempting to do an exploration is we need to identify a location to go and explore, which is the locations table. Which is at the back of the book. So it's a percentage on the locations table. 73. Oh, a separate derelict haven. So we have another a derelict. So a craft, a half-buried remains of an alien spacecraft, a haunting testament to a long-forgotten catastrophe. So we have a derelict haven. Let's use our additional storytelling book to roll 2 structure features for this derelict haven. We have 46 Hive of alien anthropods. So again, there's these aliens that seem to inhabit a lot of the derelict crafts around here. Although I don't know what an arthropod is. So I will quickly Google that. An arthropod is an invertebrate. They possess an exoskeleton with a cuticle made of chitin. Okay, so it's a buggy beetle thing. All right, so there's a bunch of those in here. Let's do another one. That's different from last time. 16 deep dark crevices. So it's deep and dark. So next, what we do is so what do we have so far? We've got 4 resources and we've consumed 3 energy and we have no data. So next, we roll a d10 on the travel table to find out if we have any encounters on the way to this location. So travel encounters, d10. We won't add anything to it. 10. We have a finding, so we find something along the way. So we start traveling the long distance, and as we've talked several times, because Welcome is an artificial intelligence and doesn't need food or sleep or anything, time has very little meaning to Welcome, and so Welcome may travel for days or months or years to get to a location. There's no real concept of time, so Welcome would begin traveling towards the havens through various, so we would have, if this was a cutscene, we would see Welcome moving through some swamps, over some deserts, and whilst doing that, 83, whilst doing that, so we get 1 day to gravitational, whilst doing that we are being affected by lots of, there seems to be a lot of gravitational things happening on this planet at the moment. And due to that, Welcome spends some time doing analysis of the various different gravitational waves. We come across various different sections where there are rocks beginning to levitate and then they fall to the ground. And maybe even some animals are being disturbed by the gravitational forces being messed around with. And we do some studying of gravitational forces and gain 1 data. After that, we reach our location and then we roll on the location encounter table. Now this is the one where we really want to get a 10 plus, because that will give us the chance of getting an aspect. We only have 1 data. We can convert resources to data? We can spend 2 resources to get 1 data or 1 energy. We have 4 resources here, so we're going to burn all 4 resources to create 2 data, and plus the 1 data we already have, giving us 3 data. So we roll and then we add 3 to this, and we're aiming to try and get 10 or more. Nope, 7. So a 7 means that we get a challenge and an opportunity. So we begin exploring the derelict haven, and whilst we're exploring the derelict haven, we start off with a challenge. We will find something that blocks our path. 90. A sudden gravity vortex tries to pull you off course. So we're attempting to climb up the structure as huge waves of gravity begin to rock and shake the haven. Maybe it's, I think we said last time that it could be the AI that's messing around with this. So we have, what was this? A gravity vortex is created, and we can utilize physics or navigation to overcome this. So we get confused, our internal systems get confused. We have a navigation of 2 plus 5, but I think we can re-roll navigation. We have +1 re-roll for that. Yes, we can re-roll 1 navigation action dice. Or physics, we have a 6, but navigation we have a 7. So we're going to do navigation, which is that we roll 2d10, and for a single one which is above 7, we get a weak success, which means we take a strain, and if we get 2, we get a strong success, which means we get a pass. So we want to get, is it under 7? I think it's over 7, isn't it? No, it would be under 7, because the higher number, so it's going to be, we need a low number. Double checking. Yes, lower than or equal to the difficulty class, which is 7. So we have a 4 and a 1, so we have a strong success. So we succeed against this challenge. By utilising our navigation data, we are able to keep our bearings and whilst climbing not get confused and get lost, and instead we continue to climb into the derelict vehicle where it starts getting dark. We turn on our lights, so our internal faceplate lights up in that way that it does in certain things, and we have some lights on our shoulders that light up and then begin to light up in a very alien-esque way. And just, I don't know if you've ever lived anywhere with cockroaches, whilst I was a student I did, and whenever you go into the kitchen they would scatter. It's like that. We have these small alien cockroach looking things, and as we enter each of the corridors exploring the expanse of this haven, they begin to scatter and run around. So let's see what opportunity we encounter in the process of exploring this haven. Now this is something where ideally we'd want data to go into our next encounter, our next exploration. 14. We locate an abandoned robotics facility in the middle of the structure, which is covered in strange organic structures which the creatures have created. If we spend some time salvaging this site, we could yield valuable assets. We would gain 2 resources and 2 data on a success. That would be a weak success with a strain, or a strong success where we just have the recovered. We can use robotics or engineering. Our engineering is a 5 and our robotics is a 6. So we would go for our robotics, which is 6. We have no benefits for doing it in robotics, but it's a 6. We do have energy, so we could utilise a re-roll if we needed to. So we want 6s, 2 6s. We need to roll under or equal to the difficulty class, so that counts as a strong success. So we managed to get 2 resources of robotic parts and two lots of data to assist us in understanding what is going on, and maybe this data is helping us more understand the area of the robotics that this craft and the alien species before understood about robotics and artificial intelligence. So we will then return back. We'll take the long journey back. So what will this one? This is a robotics facility. So we will take the long hike back to our base, and whilst we're going back, we then get to do what's called a side activity. And what we nearly exclusively, what we've been doing as a side activity is collecting data to try and help us with our next bits. Other things that you can do is we can recharge energy. We still seem to be okay for energy. We can try to gather resources. Maybe not as that helpful. We could do if we were approaching the end and we wanted to install an upgrade, because we can also implement an upgrade or self-repair. Implementing an upgrade requires 10 resources. Self-repairing requires 5 resources. Now we've still got quite a lot of slots left, because how you take damage in Entity is you begin with 20 slots. You automatically occupy, although we did, oh, what was that? Advanced? Oh, that's IT. That gives us a re-roll with IT, if I remember, information technology. An advanced diagnostic algorithm, gain advantage in an information technology action roll. Gaining advantage means that you roll 3 dice and you take away the highest. So that gives you the 2 lowest dice. So anyway, we're going to attempt to collect data on our return, which is our analytics trait plus 4. Analytics is 3, so that gives us a 7, so we're looking for 7s. We have a 6 and a 5, which is a strong success. Now on a full success, not a strong success because that's Ironsworn, on a full success we gain data equal to our analytics trait value. Our analytics trait is 3, so we'd gain 3 data. 1, 2, 3, or 3 data, giving us a total of 5. That's good for our next exploration. So we will then start to do some analysis of the surrounding area, see if there's anything interesting that we could go and look at, which basically means that we roll on the location table again. Oh, there are some tectonic canyons. Deep winding canyons created by intense tectonic activity. There seems to be a lot of gravitational and tectonic activity on this planet. There's lots of things moving around. It seems to be definitely in flux. There's a lot of strange things going on in this place. So we will begin to move towards this canyon to see if it can uncover any more information. Maybe it's because this is to do with building a nanomaterial synthesis laboratory, which will give us plus on chemistry. So maybe the tectonic plate movements has exposed some minerals that will help us understand the chemical composition of the planet and the chemical composition of the area that surrounds it, and see if there's any abnormalities that may help us understand the synthetic nature of the previous lives that were here. So we would then make our way towards this, which is a travel encounter. 1, which is a challenge. So we encounter something quite difficult on the way, where we roll percentage. 75. The area you're exploring seems to be sentient and constantly shifts its path. So we have a shifting path challenge. So where we're attempting to make our way through the canyon to explore the canyon further once we've got there, say in 6 months' time, the canyon seems to be opening and closing and rebuilding itself as we're travelling along. Now we can do navigation or communication. So we would choose navigation, which is 7s, and knowing that we can do a re-roll if we so choose. A 7 and a 6, which is a pass, because it's 7 or less, and we have a 2 for our navigation and a 5 for our adaptivity. So we're very adaptive. Welcome is a very adaptive artificial intelligence, and we then get 7, so that's a strong success, meaning that we get to the location where we're aiming to go to. There we will do our location. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 data and 2 resources. We could burn the 2 resources, giving us 6 data, but we might just keep that at 5 and hope for the best. So we're going to use all of the data we've got. We didn't even need it. So we burn all 5, giving us a total of 14, which means that we have a challenge, an opportunity, a finding, and then finally we will get our aspect. If we fail any of these, like fail, double fail, then we cannot progress and get our aspect. So we need to pass the challenge, pass the opportunity, and pass the finding. So first off, we have a challenge. Whilst we're exploring this canyon and these plates, something happens. Our system intercepts an encrypted alien message that triggers a disruptive virus. So basically, the rogue AI is attacking us again. So within this canyon, the rogue AI is attacking us. We can use communications or IT. Our IT will give us a 7, and we get advantage. So we will do that. So we want 7s and we have advantage, which means we take away the highest, which is the 8, leaving us a 7 and 2, which is a strong success. So we're starting to get better and better at understanding the viruses that this artificial intelligence keeps throwing at us, because it's not the first time it's done it. And due to that, we're beginning to see patterns in its attack vectors and how it's approaching us. And utilising those patterns, we begin to defend ourselves, and we can easily understand what it's trying to do and counteract its attacks. And we lock down some firewalls, and we protect certain aspects of our core programming to make sure that it can't affect us, and then it feels frustrated and ceases the attack. During that process, an opportunity becomes available to us. We discover a living energy source, a creature that generates power that can be harnessed. Gain 4 energy on success. So this is possibly those same crystal creatures. I don't know if you remember, we encountered some crystal creatures that have energy, and we utilise those to try and get energy back. Now we have used up 3 energy, so we can actually for once actually use this. We've got biology, chemistry, or survival. Now this would help us with chemistry. Biology or survival. Our survival is 3, our adaptability is 5, that gives us 8s. Ooh, a 9 and a 6. That's a weak success, which means we will take a strain, but we would get the energy. So maybe we will do that. We'll take, this is our third strain for this, but we are able to, so it's a bit of a struggle to get our energy leeches onto it, and we're able to, so we get battered about a bit as they try to resist and fight us off, and then we're able to leech some energy from them and you know, what's it, catch and release program. So we catch some, utilize them, and then we release them back out into nature. But we did take a strain in the process. And finally we have a finding. So whilst we're doing that, something pings on our internal sensors. 24, a success, accessing an active alien terminal, you download valuable data, gain 1 data. So that doesn't seem to make much sense, but whilst we're leeching the energy off of these, we begin to understand more how they create the energy within them as crystalline creatures, and due to that we have 1 data which comes. I just put gain data about crystal creatures, and then we managed to get our aspect. So that then gives us information, that additional thing gives us more information about the makeup of these crystalline creatures, how their crystalline structure and the atomic depth of the creature is allowing us to produce its own tappable energy supply. Maybe as they move around and they get close to each other, they spark against each other, and there's lots of little tiny bright blue and violet sparks come off them as they move around. So we stay for a couple of weeks observing these creatures and understanding them, which then gives us the ability to gain that insight and gain that aspect, and then we head back to base. We now have 1 data and 2 resources. We have a permanent impairment and at the moment 3 temporary strain. So next we need to find another location to gain our last 2 aspects from. Ooh, 05. The silica sand desert again. So we're going to go back. So after, I think we found some crystalline structures under the silica sand desert, if I remember rightly. Or silicate, S-I-L-I-C-A-T-E. So we will return back because we found those crystalline structures underneath the desert, and that might allow us to get a better aspect and a better understanding of how these creatures function. Let's roll on one of these. So let's do a terrain feature. Let's do 2 terrain features of this desert. 93. So there are multiple, within this desert there seems to be multiple overgrown derelict vehicles. So lots of vehicles have attempted to go through this desert and have broken down. 27, and they have been piled up into a hive-like structure. Now that hive maybe have creatures still live in it, or maybe not. So we know about this because we've done some distant analysis of the area. Now we're going to go closer to it to try and see what's there. 4 gives us a challenge. So on the way there, we are challenged by 99. We stumble upon a temporal anomaly that begins to affect the flow of time. Oh, okay. We need some time crystals. Time flow issues. So we can use physics or IT. IT will give us advantage, which is a 7. Which means we roll 3 dice. And we take away the highest, which gives us a 7 and 2. So we're successful in being able to, so maybe we wait out the temporal problems, and we wait those out to try and make sure we understand what's going on. This is when we're on the way to the silica desert and those structures. We will then Well, on the location encounter table, where we have 1 data and 2 resources, so we're going to burn all of that to give us a +2 to a D10 roll. We're looking to get 10 or more. 8, which gives us +2, which gives us a 10, which is the 10 we need, which means that we will get a challenge, an opportunity, a finding, and an aspect. So our challenge, 64. Rapidly growing alien crystals threaten to encase your suit, reducing your mobility. So we have obviously the crystals that were growing underneath the desert have detected our energy signature and have begun to encase themselves around us. Now, chemistry is not good, so it gives us a 5. Engineering gives us a 5. Robotics gives us a 6. So we will use our robotics to, which is 6s. We're going to try and understand robotics and maybe release some nano bots to try and break down this crystalline structure. Oh, that's lucky. So using robotics, we are going to restructure our own energy signature to release less of a presence, so the crystalline structure forming around us is less dangerous, which will then expose an opportunity for us. 27, we find an old but still functional alien energy generator. Gain 3 energy on a success, which we have physics, engineering, or robotics. Physics will give us a 6, engineering gives us a 5, so it's robotics which gives us a 6. Maybe we've just got 6s. Whoop. That was a 6. 6 and 3, which is a hard success. So we find an old but still functioning alien structure made of crystal, and we gain 3 energy, where we've got 4 energy anyway. So that's our opportunity. Then off the back of this, we find something. 35, we decipher a series of encoded but primitive alien symbols. So maybe a lot of these structures that we were trying to get the energy from, and crystalline structures, have very simplistic alien symbolism on them, and we're able to decode that to get 1 data. Old symbols, 1 data, and then from that we're able to those symbols expose more information about the planet and the chemical structures of the various different aspects of the planet, which then will give us 1 our extra aspect. What time is it about? So including cutting things, so probably about 25 minutes maybe. So maybe we'll do 1 last and see if we can build our alien structure and then read our discovery. So we will do the long trek back to our headquarters. Or if I didn't do a side activity on that last one, so we will then attempt to get data on this one, which we forgot to do on the last one, which then is our analytics. 3 plus 4, which is 7s. 1 and 3, which is a hard success, which gives us our analytics trait as a value, which is 3, which gives us 3 data. 1, 3, which gives us 4 total data. As we're doing analysis of all of these crystalline structures, we will then, using that analysis, try and find ourselves a location to explore next. 46, Obsidian Sea. I think we've been here. A vast dark plain made of naturally formed obsidian, creating a glossy and intricate expanse that mirrors the sky. I'm pretty certain we've been to this area before. So we will then head off towards this structure, see if we have any travel encounters. 10, we have a finding. Hopefully it's data. What do we find as we reach the Obsidian Sea? 70, you find a piece of remnant remnant machinery from the ancient alien civilization gain 1 resource. So on the way there we find a data capsule and a device that is fixed into. The data capsule contains no data, but we can utilize the components of the data capsule as a resource. Now we have 4 data and 1 resource. We can't burn the resource, but we can utilize the 4 data. We will use all the data. 4 plus 8 gives us 12, which means that we definitely get our full complement of a challenge, an opportunity, a finding, and an aspect. Now whatever data we get out of this is pointless, because we can't use it as long as we get the aspect. So first off, we get a challenge. So within this obsidian sea, something causes us some problems. 06. A sudden torrent of chaotic data bursts from a near source and threatens to overwhelm our systems, IT or communications. So IT, information technology, where we get advantage. That's right, isn't it? I said that. I mean, I did it just now, so. Oh yeah, that's our, we need to, actually I should have spent 3 energy to get that advantage last time. So I think we've already did that twice. So that means we've only got 4 energy left. So we'll do it again to give us advantage. An IT, information technology, is 7s. We'll remove the 10, giving us a 4 and a 1, which is a half success. So again, the rogue AI is really getting angry with us now, obviously. Attempts to attack us. What was that, 76? No, it wasn't, it was something else. Whatever it was, the rogue AI attempts to attack us. And again, we resist and will be able to fight against it. Now we only have 1 energy left, which isn't great. So next we have an opportunity. So what opportunity exposes itself to us? 99. The hull of an old Soyuz spacecraft lays nearby. It could offer some benefits upon salvage. Gain 3 resources on a success. 3 resources on a success wouldn't be too bad. Let's see what we can find. So this is engineering or robotics. So robotics is probably the way to go, which gives us 6s. Which is a strain and a success. So a weak success, which still means we get 3 resources. Now we can burn those 3 resources. We can start with burn, so we can convert those. We've now got 4 resources that I think we're going to convert to 2 energy, which will then give us a 3 energy left that we might be able to utilize in our final roll. So that was our opportunity. Soyuz vehicle. Then we have our finding. So what do we find in the Soyuz vehicle? 55. We stumble upon fragments of an unidentified satellite. So within this, which gives us 1 resource, within the Soyuz vehicle, we've got additional information about not just it, but other satellites within the area, which we may be able to tap into at a later advantage. That was our satellite, that was our finding. Then we have our final aspect, and we head back. We've got 1 resource. What side thing? I don't think we can do anything with 1 resource anyway. And anything we get resets. So we start to head back, and we start to do, so let's see what our final discovery is, and then we'll close it for session 8. Our final discovery is the planetary archive. Discovering a planetary archive, you find data chronicling the millennia-long journey of the synthetics from machine life to biological entities. It highlights their pursuit of emotion, mirroring humanity's own journey towards understanding emotion. So obviously these artificial intelligences, oh yeah, that was our previous one, sentient artifact. We found out that the AIs that used to exhibit here eventually transformed themselves into biological entities, and now we're finding out that they spent a large amount of their time trying in the pursuit of gaining an emotional response to things, and in the end managed to do that and managed to convert not only into a biological source but an emotional biological source. And there is where we will finish. We now have our nanosynthetic laboratory, which means nanosynthetic laboratory means that we get +1 on our chemistry, so our chemistry now goes to 3, and we have finished the nanomaterial laboratory. And that is where we will finish. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you watched, please hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you haven't had a look at Entity, please consider going to drive-through and grabbing it. It's not very expensive. It often goes on sale and it's really good. The artwork inside is beautiful if you can manage to get it as a physical copy, or you can get somewhere such as DocZoo to print it for you, or I don't know if drive-through does it as print on demand. I would strongly suggest it because it is a very pretty book. Apart from that, I will see you next time for more Entity. See ya.